Alrighty. I think I'm all set. We do need to get on our wheel here. Chill out, bro. Too fuck. Whoop. Almost said a bad word. Too loud. Alrighty. I kind of like this. We're just gonna chill for a second, y'all. And currently, we will be prepping for another little throwing session. Actually, I'm gonna make a few more water whistles. Yeah, I'm gonna make some of the small additions for the water whistles, because I do have some more space. And then, it's gonna be a long week of just finishing stuff. But I have a good amount of things to finish, so I'm actually kind of excited about that. So we are looking forward to some of the small bits and pieces here. I want to remove some of this stuff. So like right here, this needs to go in here. I always feel like the additions for some of these pieces, like I always find that on these objects, they want to like break very easily. Like not these objects, these wheel heads or these splash pans. I always find that they want to break right here, and I don't really understand why. Also, today, oh my gosh, today I saw just the most weird video. I was on the Pottery world, and somebody, do you guys know what an atomizer is? An atomizer is like it's like an air thing, right? Like you blow and you put some glaze in there. It's like a spray gun, but with your mouth. You're using your mouth, and people are using that to spray glaze. And like this video got shared like 90 times. That doesn't seem like a lot, but like, yo, out of 90 times, somebody's gonna be using a glaze that's gonna have a lot of cobalt in it or some toxic material. You know, like you shouldn't be inhaling glaze particulates. I don't know. I wanted to say something mean, but I'm not gonna start beef with people. But it's really dangerous, actually. You know. You don't know what's in that glaze. And if you do, you know that it's usually nothing good for you's in there. So I don't know. It's just really kind of weird that they would do that. Sometimes I get this the pottery demon inside my brain wants to just start roasting people. But I know that's not healthy, so we will not be doing that. Also today, I actually wanted to change a couple of things. No, we'll leave it as is right now. I want to do a thing where I can have like a little, like some sort of, I can do more audio overlays of different videos, so that I can show people kind of like what things are going to be as I'm making them, if they ask or are curious what I'm making. Sometimes I find that some new folk who don't really know, or they're just stopping in, they don't really know what I'm all about, right? So I think I got to start using my little like my clips that I make a little bit more. And I know that might be repetitive for some of y'all, but think about it this way, like if you're just stopping into my stream and I'm not doing anything too crazy, it might be a nice thing to have for people who don't really know me, right? Okay, let's see, what are we doing right now? We gotta get some tools, and then we can kind of start cruising on the clay making, the pottery process here. Actually, I don't want to get this one. I'm gonna give this one a try today. You know, I don't really like the shape of this. We'll give it a shot. We have been using the needle tool a little bit more these days. Yes, we'll use this wire too. Hello. And just getting some of this clay off those little pins. So hopefully, yeah, I'm also gonna wet the bottom of this bat. Somebody has a question. Sure, you can. Better not be cringe. Usually when people say, I have a question, instead of just asking the question, they're like baiting you to ask them what's the question so they can ask you a cringe question. How do I keep catching the stream? Is it happenstance? Maybe we're just in sync. Just need to get muddy every day. How often have I been? Maybe the last 3 days I have been streaming, huh? I feel like I stopped thinking about my days as days and more as like hours, right? We'll get over there in a second. DMS is not answering their questions, so maybe they were going to ask me something that was just trying to troll me. It's okay. I welcome trolling. If you troll me, that's good. Okay. Good evening, chili dogs. I guess it's morning. What you focus on, it grows. Feed them horses. Today we will be going into the depths of the darkness on the wheel. We'll be creating more water whistles, bass forms, because yesterday we only got like 2 solid bass forms, like 2 full sets, and I threw like 7 times, and it's just, I don't know, at the end of the last time, I just wasn't really feeling it, and I felt like I was trying to rush through. So I'm going to make some more, and then I didn't get to make the little attachment parts, so I'm going to do those today too, like the little in-between things. And I have some ideas about how we can use the old tree twist as the connector, rather than just a cylinder there. So we're going to do some testing, we're going to do some making, and most importantly, we're going to throw. See you guys over there in a second. Ka-chow. Put on my little sandals. My little sandals are back on. Thanks, little sandals. Okie dokie. You just made a cast of your face or hands? That's such a good memory. Holy crap, you unlocked a memory for me, dude. Me and my friend, you gotta remember, like, sometimes you get those friends that you're just, like, way too close with, right? Like, you know, I feel like guys, you have the friends who you like hang out with, you play video games with, but then you have like your friends that you like try to kill each other for like an hour, and like you're just wrestling until you're totally just exhausted, and then you're like bros right after that, right? So I have like one of those friends, and I'm very thankful for his existence. He's a good dude. But one time I don't know, I was making casts of locks, and like I was talking about love and relationships quite a bit, right? And so I wanted to make these, like I wanted to essentially have little kisses, like a kiss impression of lips on all the sides of the cups, right? I don't really have good lip game. My lips are kind of like more thin, right? But my buddy, he's got like really nice like lips, right? And so I was like, dude, can I get a cast of your lips? So we casted our lips. So I have done casting of that. I might even have I'm not going to worry about it right now, but I have done it. I might have the cast of my buddy's lips just lying around. I did a bunch of these. Is this one of them? This is not really a good example, though. No, that's not one of them. There's got to be one around here that I did. Man, those are old. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Where's the... I feel like I have them right here. Ah, yes. Yeah, this isn't a good one, though. But this just still goes to show you what... Oh, man. Yeah, you're not really going to be able to tell. Oh, well. I'll show you it anyway. Okay, so... Do you see, like, the little indentation here? The glaze kind of really masks it quite a bit. Camera B? You see, like, these are my lips, right? So this is, like, very shallow. You can't really notice, right? And it's just kind of like a little, like, it almost looks like a hexagon. My lips kind of look like a hexagon. But, yeah. My buddy's lips, it's seriously, he's got, like, I don't know. I feel like he could be, like, a lip model. He's got some good lips. But I have done that before. Alright, continue cutting. A Russian friend like that, he takes a series of naps every 24-hour periods and says that his life seems like a single endless day now. I'd actually want to do that. A series of naps? That's actually such a good idea. I feel like I like sleeping way too long, though. Like, that's like my biggest problem. Someone said, no Diddy. Someone said, we would wrestle for hours, quote. Yeah, yo. Really, that's how it is sometimes with your bros, dude. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I feel like you get kind of like in this, like you got to show your worth, you know, like with your buddies. And so like things can get violent, but like not in like a, I'm gonna okay, you know what I mean? Sweet. I thought that story was going somewhere else. Thanks for keeping it PG. Of course, I would never talk about an inappropriate story, yo. What the heck? Come on, dude. This is YouTube. There's never been anything inappropriate on YouTube, ever. That was sarcasm, by the way. I feel like YouTube is way different nowadays than when I was young. I'm gonna get some of this clay out. Camera A. We're just trying to feel out the weight of the clay right now. So we kind of are just like, okay, this one a little bit too much for what I want, right? And so people always like, do you weigh your stuff out? Like my students will ask me that. I'm like, no, I just feel it. Like I know by the feeling of the clay around, like I'm ballparking it, right? And I feel like it's a good idea to do that because slowly you'll learn, oh, like, no, this is right? If you do it enough, because you'll screw up a bunch or you'll like feel and be like, oh, that's the weight that I want for this object. And so kind of Mini wheel. Camera B. Put this guy right back in here. Right? I'm gonna be doing some more of the water whistle things like we did at the end of last time, but I want to make the small little additions to it though. So we will be not just doing the basses, we're going to be doing the parts of them too. And then for this whole week, I might not throw it all this week. Because I have like quite a stock of objects I need to camera A. Quite a stock of objects I need to get through, like just trim and finish. I think I have like maybe like 60 something mug cup things, a couple water whistles, a lamp. That's a lot of trimming, that's a lot of attaching, that's a lot of sculpting there. I think on these water whistles I won't do the dragons though, because I think those really took a long time. It's like a whole stream, a whole 2-hour stream for just one sculpting, and I feel like nobody really liked the sculpting content as much as I think the throwing content. But maybe I just haven't done the sculpting content for long enough, so that's also a thing. Have you made lamps before? I did one time. I thought they were okay, you know, like nothing. Lamps aren't that. When somebody says they're making lamps, it's really just like, it's just like making a vase, really. I feel like they're pretty close to each other. I just don't make a bottom on the lamp, right? And then you gotta cut a little spot for the wire to go through. But the rest of it's kind of easy, you know. Lamps are not that difficult. You'll probably spend more time pitting the lamp together than the actual making of the object. Haven't seen the stream for a while. I'll go back and see what they look like. I didn't do it yesterday. I think I did it the day before of what the lamps. Or are you talking about the water whistles? I don't know. You probably won't even be able to find the stream because I just named everything throwing. But if you went through the shorts, you'd probably find, if you scroll back to like December sometime, maybe like early December, I think I was doing that stuff maybe. Okay. Right to this middle. Zoom. Right down. The last one you saw was the clay wizard. Oh, this was way... If you're talking about the lamp was 2 days ago. If you're talking about the water whistles were like a month ago. First pull, we're just getting the thickness dialed in. We're not trying to get height. And then with these ones, you know what? Let's be a little bit more, let's be respectful to the object here, you know, let's... Bring that out a little bit wide, then call this in. What does a water whistle feel? Kind of feel like that's a dumb question, but I've never heard a water whistle before. Just because you asked, I got a video just for you, friend. I don't have it connected to the voice stuff yet. I'm gonna get like a series of, I'm gonna take like my modern, like the edited things, and I'll like do them all here at one time. But here, let's pause that. Let's go here. Media source, properties. Um, this is one of them, and what they. What is this one though? I'm gonna just see. I'm gonna stop this, by the way. Okay. Yeah, we're not doing that one. We'll do the Thunder Dragon. You see the whistle here in a second. That's what they look like. And this dragon has 2 whistles in it, so hopefully it stops and you'll hear what it. I'm using air right now to blow through it. Here, I'll shut up. Here we are with our Generation 3 Dragon Water Whistle, right? Yeah. Kind of looks like this. Let's get over there and whistle this thing. Ka-chow. There we go. A little bit more sad of one, right? But, yep. So you can see how they kind of like, do you see how they make sound, right? And so instead of using air, you fill the vessel with water, and then the water going from one chamber to the other pushes air through, so you don't have to blow to get the whistle. So that's what the thing is. Yeah, I did a dragon on that one. Sorry, I didn't see. It's a shame that you won't send your pieces. I've been following you for many months and would like to buy something to respect your journey. Maybe one day I'll try to do that stuff. I don't know. We'll see. I think what I would rather do is like actually I don't want to think about it right now. I'll do something one day. Am I gonna glaze it? I think that one's already glazed. It's at my work right now. Those small one-off things, like I glaze those ones. But the medium-sized things I don't really, or like all the trees I haven't done because it just takes way too long. I wish I didn't see what everybody said. Hold on, let me. Okay, I think I got to everybody's question actually. If I miss something while I'm just yapping, let me know and I can go back up. Okay. So again, I'm right at this corner here. I'm just gonna actually. Zoom. A little water in on this top edge. Can you do a stream with the green colored clay, like inside out stream where your clay is green screened? That'd be kind of cool, but I feel like that would cost a lot of money to get it that green for mason stain, and if I use any sort of metal, I just don't want to be touching like chromium oxide for a really long extended period of time. I'd probably get like sick, or I'd get at least a bad rash. That's what always happens whenever I touch a lot of cobalt. I'm a little bit uneven on this. You can see on the belly here. a little bit uneven. But I'm trying not to like worry too much about it. And again, we're slowly walking this in, finding that little bump, and slowly taking that up. And we're going to start by trimming off this top edge. We said, how do you color clay outside of glazing it, of course? You can do it a couple different ways. You could have some slip, like some clay that has color in it. And usually slip has some sort of fluxing agent onto it, so it sticks to what you have, like your vessel, a little bit more during the firing, so it doesn't just peel off, right? But you can use that and just take a little brush, and you could just drag that brush against here and color the whole entire piece. You could also take like mason stain, right? Or, you know, sometimes you could even use some metals, but usually you don't want to do that because then your clay body is fluxing, and that's going to cause your pots to like dunt. Dunting is like they'll break right in half. The clay body becomes too much like a glass, and they rip themselves in half because the glaze tension and the clay body are really working against each other. But you can use mason stain, which is usually some encapsulated colorant, some sort of encapsulated colorant, and it doesn't act as a flux as much. And you can mix that and wedge that. When you go to wedge your clay, you can just wedge it in. And then just wait it for a really long time, and then all of a sudden it'll be all good. A little water around this edge. Yeah, it's kind of like a mixture of both. Like the glaze, right? The glaze has a certain type of like thermal expansion rate, right? Like during the course of the firing, it's going to expand and shrink a certain amount, right? And when you have a clay body, like your clay body kind of wants to be similar or match that, right? And that can result in like crazing or cracking, right? But when your glaze is stronger than your clay body, it can literally rip your pieces in half, right? Again, you kind of want to cut this top rim off. You can see how I'm slowly getting rid of these layers right here. And why am I getting rid of those little layers? Is because as I'm kind of pushing this in, that top is getting too thick. And so if I want to collar this top in, it's not wanting to do that because that top compressed clay is keeping it from moving inwards. So again, we'll do one last little pull here. I actually kind of don't like that. So we'll do one more. Yeah, that looks okay. I think this song is in the movie The Road, or Road, I think, during the end. It's a really sad movie if you've never watched it. Don't watch it, you'll cry. Apocalyptic movie. I remember like in the 2010s, I feel like every movie was an apocalyptic movie. We were some real doomers back then, guys. The Road is a great film, but super depressing. Yes, very, very sad. Yep, core memory. I get a lot of those weathered pots with pieces of metal in them in between. I get a lot of those weathered pots So weathered to like a bronzy, like coppery, like oxidized copper. Is that what you mean by weathered? Pieces of metal in them and a patina in your YouTube shorts. Are you talking about what's his name? Florian Gatsby, my arch rival. He's been putting a lot of like brass and like silver flakes in his pieces. He's my arch rival. I'm coming for him one day. I'm gonna start like pottery YouTuber beef with Florian Gatsby one day. Yeah, he does a lot of that stuff. I have mixed opinions about that, you know. I personally wouldn't do I wouldn't do the iron flex in things that I would, or not the iron. The iron might be okay, but like I wouldn't put like nickel and some of these other materials that he's setting in his pots into the clay body and then sell the pieces. Like I actually think that, well, first, think about it this way. When you set like something in the kiln, like a metal like that, for example, there's a reason why lead is like banned in glazes, right? Or was banned in glazes. And there was a huge purge of pottery factory kilns that had lead in it, because every time when you fire one lead piece in your kiln, now all of a sudden that it vaporizes, it's almost like a gas or something, right? And it leaks and seeps into the walls of the kiln, right? So now every single time, even if there's no lead in your glaze, you heat up that kiln, you're going to have trace amounts of lead on the surface of your glazes. So that's why there's like a thing that's like every kiln before like 1967 or something like that. That's when it was like, I think lead in paint was banned in 61, and lead in glaze or lead in ceramics was banned in 1967. Or maybe it was 69, I can't, one of those two. But there was a huge purge of kilns, and so many pieces that even if people say, oh, there's no lead in this, there's trace amounts of lead in their pieces. The same way, I feel like some of that stuff that like Florian's putting in his kiln, like that leaches into your bricks, and let's just say that might not be the best, right? And sometimes if you don't get to like a total peak temperature, there's still a little bit of porousness in your clay body, so you never know. Something might act really weird with that. So I don't know. I don't care about lead. I do a lot of soldering with lead and live with asbestos house. Okay, to each their own, you know what I mean? I feel like, you know, you probably might not have a problem with it, right? But I guarantee you, damn, we gotta cancel Florian. No, we gotta wait until to cancel Florian. I gotta get really goated first, and then we can go for Florian. All right, guys. Like, I have like a pottery hit list, but like hit as like not, you know what I mean? Like not like just start beef with, you know. But I gotta get goated first, you know. I feel like I don't want to make content that's bashing on those people. Because I think it makes it look like I'm in a position where I'm trying to use their clout to like push my content forward. Well, I don't want it to feel like that first, you know. The only lead in my house are my McDonald's old Garfield lead paint cup collection. That's actually kind of amazing, though. Did you know? Sorry, it's going to be kind of loud here, guys. Camera A. There we go. How much battery do we got in this one? Oh, we're cruising. I want to make any pottery that is not safe. You never know who will use it. Yeah, for real. Dang, I was just talking about how we talked too much beef about Florian. I agree. We don't hear you. Oh, yeah, that's why the voice got canceled, because we talked too much beef on Florian. I was just saying, I don't know if you guys heard, but I don't want it to be like, I don't want to make like bash content until I get like larger, because I don't want it to feel like I'm like trying to use his clout as a way to like project my stuff forward. Like I want my stuff to exist, and then we can go for the guy, you know? I need to get goated first. That's the real thing, you know? After I'm goated, then we can have that conversation. The lead mafia is trying to silence me. That's hilarious. Yeah, I just, you know, you never know who you're talking to, and, you know, sometimes people, you know, like if you sell them an object, they might be a little bit more susceptible to something, you know, than others. And so you just want to be careful with your object. Sometimes, you know, like when a glaze says it's food safe, like I've never used a commercial glaze, right? But if you use like a glaze that says it's food safe, it might not actually be food safe depending on how it was fired, where it was fired, what type of surface is it on, what does the surface look like on the clay, right? These are all little factors, I think, that a lot of people don't really consider. So think about the next time you go to like a little pottery thing at a farmer's market, like that it might not be totally a safe object to use, right? Obviously support people, you know, that you like if you like their objects, but also, you know, sometimes this stuff is a little dangerous. And out of all the things that take you out in the world, do you really want it to be the cup that you drank out of for the past 5 years that had like way too much like copper in it that was still too porous? Fiesta plates are food safe, right? I think it depends on the Fiesta plate, right? Because there's some that have the uranium in it. And I actually do think there is some that have lead. But I don't know. What's farmer's market? Like a farmer's market is like a place where people, just like a normal market. I guess maybe it's different for different places, but when I think of a farmer's market, I think of like over here you have some lady who's like selling soap. You have this dude who has like chickens and he's selling eggs. And then you got like a pottery person. You got some person who's dyeing yarn. Like that's the vibe I feel like of a little farmer's market. They're pretty fun to go to be honest. You always will get the best honey there too. Alright, right down to the bottom. So now we got to make a base for that one that we just finished, right? Walk this up. Uranium is just power boost to your breakfast. That's hilarious. Yeah, I think the orange Fiesta pots were past a certain point. I think like there's a year where they still made the orange, but a different recipe. I like the videos where there's a guy, he goes in with like a lead tester and he goes to like Goodwill and then he just like buys all the lead infested plates. I think that's like great internet content. Sounds like just market. Why is it farmers? Like only farmers can sell there? No, I don't know. Like maybe I'm wrong, right? But I just have always called it a farmer's market. But it could just be just a normal market. I think what happened is they used to just be farmers market, and then all the other folks who aren't farmers started just like setting up there too, right? So I think that's also a little bit of it. I'll actually color this in a little bit, and then we're going to bring this out first. So you guys are going to see this as kind of fun here, right? So first, I'll bring this down. And we're going to go right over top. And you see how the hand underneath is the one that's bellying that out? And so you'll see a lot of Korean potters when they're doing their like little, or their giant, sorry not little, their giant ongi fermenting pots. They'll do stuff like, where they'll have their fingers inverse. Instead of the hand on the outside being underneath, it's now on top. We call our local market here in southern Ohio a farmer's market as well. Southern Idaho. Yeah, okay, cool, interesting. See, maybe I'm not alone in that then. I think it's more of like handmade things, like at stores, like Walmart. You can get them from manufacturers. Then a farmer's market, like they're like fresh from a farm locally. Someone did that for uranium pots, and a rad meter goes off when they walk in the house. Interesting. Buy 100 uranium plates, then serve 100 homeless people food for... Jesus, yo. Jeez. Pretty edgy there, yo. But... yeah, I don't know about the farmer's market stuff. Let's want this in. I wonder why it's called that. And a little bit of water right on the inside. I also have some beef with like, not Walmart specifically, but there is a lot of places, right, that will say, like, if you go to like a store, like think of like the Pottery barn, right? Or some of these places, they'll say like handmade ceramics. Okay, so what is your definition of handmade, right? A hand has touched the object, right? Because a lot of these are done with like sort of, nobody even throws it. They just take a little jig and they go, get their plate, and then they add like a little finger swirl, and then that's their idea of a handmade object, right? So I think a lot of people get a little pissed off when these like companies that are producing tons. There's like one guy in New York. If you look on YouTube, you'll see it's like, how I made $6 million profit in New York City Potter, you know, like, and the dude is like literally, it's just a business. There's no soul, I think, in the objects. It's cool, like, it's a cool to see, but I just think that what he's doing and like what I'm doing, right, or what people who are like doing stuff that are parallel to like what I'm doing, like they're just not even in the same world, right? Like I think there's no consideration of form, there's no excitement in those, right? It's really about the money of it, which is fine. You know, there's really nothing wrong with it. But I just don't like when the names are the same. I don't think I ever go into production pottery. It kills the fun. I think I would go into production pottery, just not like that. I feel like that's... I don't even know if I would call that production pottery. I just call that manufacturing, or like design manufacturing. Functional design. There you go. Something like that. W throw, one move. You're saying that's them? Yeah. It is just one move. It's tool comes down on top of clay, makes perfect object. That's why I also think that for a long time the trees were also like a good thing, because I really don't like when things are super smooth usually, right? Because I'm like, if something's smooth, then it can be casted easy, right? Like this object I'm making right now, this is like an easy cast, right? This song reminds me of that. Do you guys remember that one YouTube video? It was like these little sock puppet, people, and I think it's called The Mask, and it's like these two puppets who love each other, and like they only can be with each other for a minute, and then one of them passes, and then the other one has to remake the other, and so it's like this endless cycle of them having to make each other and putting all this forth, all this effort for eternity, you know? Such a good little animation. But he's playing like the violin in there, I think, too. Also, we're going to be cutting this down like a lot. Like, I don't know why we're trying to pull up this whole entire top bit here, because like this is going to be closed. We're closing this whole thing in. Is this your full-time job? No, I teach at a couple different art centers. I teach like pottery classes, and then I'll like load all their kilns and mix all their glaze and do all the reclaim. So I kind of just dance around and do all that stuff. I feel like if you're trying to just do like pottery just making full time, you really got to have like a large following or something that people are like constantly buying your work. If not, I think you got to like kind of dip your toe in different swimming pools, you know what I'm saying? Food from clay is favorite. I don't know what you mean. What's my favorite thing to make from clay? Whistles right now. I just love making whistles. I'm getting ready to close this off. I guess we can take this top bit off here. Take it off right about here. Oh! My hair got stuck in there. That's crazy. There we go. Camera B. Close in. Alright, so now we have this vessel closed. And then it shouldn't be too thick right on this bottom part here. Now we're just making the base. So this is going to be the foot of the second part of the water whistle here, right? Get ready. Again. Yeah, okay. And we can just kind of smooth out some of this stuff on the outside here and get some of this water off. Right? It's sealed, so you can work with it a little bit, but if you push it, you know, it's air is in there, right? Air is the thing that's keeping it all together right now. So it's going to want to like... It's going to break on you pretty easily, so you want to be careful here, right, guys? Like right there, I kind of actually pushed in a little bit too much. But how many years experience? Not to compare. You can compare, I don't mind. But I've been doing it for 6 years now. Look at that. So you see how I have that nice little foot ring? And so I'm throwing these upside down. If you're talking about that, I'm assuming that you're a potter too then? And also, I don't know if I like the word potter for me. I'm still working on a word. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be a water whistle. You know, you go to sleep, have a great rest of the stream. Hit me up when the Far Cry 5 stream starts. It will happen one day, for real. So just keep asking. I'm telling you, it will exist. Water whistle? Yeah, I'm making like these. I think I might actually went too thin here. Hold on, let me get this bottom part done and then I can talk about it. Yeah, like a water whistle. So you tilt from one chamber to the other, and then you have whistles attached to it, and then the water pressure shifting from one chamber to the other is the thing that makes the sound, right? Oh no. It started tearing right at this edge. Oh, this one might not survive, guys. Do you see these little water fissures happening? I used too much water. But we're just trying to slowly get rid of some of it. It might hold. It might hold. Okay, so that's number 1 is done. I'll show you the other water whistle. I should just bring one. I used to have one around me so I could just show you guys whenever. But a lot of them are at the studio. Alright, you ready? I'll show you the other water whistle. This is what they'll look like when they're done. Did it even play the... Do you guys even get to hear it? I don't even remember. I was looking at chat and I can't hear it. But essentially, I can show you what the whistle looks like. You just make a little whistle, right? So just a little, and it's that tilting from one chamber to the other that pushes air through the whistle. So then you don't have to blow on it. Pretty cool, right? I like them a lot. Just because it's thinking about function a little bit differently. It did play? Okay. You didn't see the product because I was watching me dance? Okay. So funny. Okay, so we got all this leftover clay. Do I like your names? Not particularly. I think it's too like pottery, they're too pottery like typical. Does that make sense? Like I think one of them was like pottery professor or like something about like soothing ceramics or something. And so like I'm just not like I'm kind of an against the grain kind of guy, you know. I was thinking about like if I ever change my name, I would just change it to your name. Just be Papa Smurf 2.0. But I know that the pottery demon, sometimes people don't like it because demon, and then everybody gets all like, oh no, demon, rah. But it really has some more meaningful context than just demon. You know, it's not like I was like, oh, demons are cool. I'm gonna be pottery demon. Like there's a history. to it. So it was nice of you to comment the names, but I don't know if I'm liking those ones as much. Clay Engineer. I feel like if I was to ever change my name from Pottery Demon, it would be something that's not even about, because like I said, I don't like the word pottery, and so I think me personally, I want to, if I was to change my name, it would be I would get rid of pottery. I approve of Papa Smurf. Funny. Clay Freak. I like that. That's actually not too bad. But I don't even want it to be about clay either. Like, I want to just be like something just like totally random. Like, you know, I've always liked the name. I've played this game called Elden Ring, right? And there's this dude called the Beast Clergyman, right? And his name is Garank. Oh my gosh. I wish that game didn't come out and I could just be called Garank. I like that. People be like, what the heck does that even mean? But I just like the sound of it. Profession name. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, YouTube name, but profession name, I don't even know. I'm kind of like, I don't really like labels too much. I'm like an anti-label kind of guy. You know, like, I had some dude, when I was in school, I had some guy, he came up to me, he says, "You're just a production potter, dude. I don't know why you're here." And I was just like, bro. I got really pissed off. Because I think like when he was labeling me as that, I think he didn't really understand the why behind what I was making. He was just looking more at the object. And how can you call someone a production potter when they don't sell anything? You know what I mean? So it's whatever. He's another rival of mine. He really pissed me off. Grankle. Change it to Florian. I don't know. I can't. I thought of a really bad name. I'm not even gonna say it. Yeah. Rungus. I like names with Gus after it. But I think the Pottery Demon it's a good name for this fact. Is like, besides my own personal thing with it, right? Like when I tell people like they're like, oh, I want to look you up. What's your thing? Like, I think Pottery Demon is so easily remembered, right? It's a name that I could give somebody and they can kind of remember when they get home, right? Because I think it's kind of jarring and it's a little bit different than what I think people expect from pottery. Okay. Humongous. I love that video. I remember like in 2000, like 16 or something, there was this like video floating around, like it was just, I thought it was kind of funny, but maybe some other people wouldn't think it's funny. was a guy, this lady was kind of like giving this guy the business, and he was just trying to like, he was just doing a dad joke, you know? And he was just saying, she's like, what's your name? And he said, Hugh? Like Hugh Mungus, right? And I think he was just making it because he's just like he was a bigger guy, you know? And it was just dad joke, you know, like, it was trying to be like a bad joke, and he didn't want to answer because it's like this lady just like threw a camera in his face. But man, is it funny. I love that video. So humongous is a good word. It reminds me of like a Pokemon name. Clay Demon first when I want to check if you are streaming. Yeah, okay. So I feel like maybe there is some good parts about having it be what it is. Maybe it helps people out more. But I feel like sometimes the really religious people might not like the name as much, right? Which is okay. I understand. I think sometimes, like, some of the older ladies that I teach, when I tell them that, I think, you know, I'm not going to say that they're judging me a little bit, but you can definitely feel their eyes kind of widen a little bit when I say that. Okay. Right down to the bottom. Do you simulcast to Twitch? If not, you should. I don't know if Twitch is for me, though, to be honest. Plus, I do vertical content, and I'm not going to make horizontal content just so I can stream on another platform and, like, reset up the whole thing to have, like, a vertical and a horizontal. It's just not my... I just don't like it, to be honest. I just don't like it. Yeah, I liked what you said. Don't worry, Papa Smurf. It was a good... I don't really respond to comments too much, so... Like, I feel like I responded to your comment in that. You inspired me to interact with you, right? Like, sometimes, like, when I get comments on my shorts, like, I just don't even know what to say. And then, like... I also think, like, sometimes a little bit too much of myself is projected out there when I comment, and so I'd rather just not comment usually. So thank you for just commenting that, and I interacted. I thought that was cool. It made me think about it. Hamster wheel has a good hamster wheel has a good wing to it. Ring. The wheel made me say R as a W. I always mistake clay for Pottery Demon and get some guy painting D&D figurines instead of your clay eating stream. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, no, I see what you mean. Like I said, like, everybody has their own opinion on that stuff. Like, for me, like, the whole Pottery Demon thing, hold on. It's more of like an internal thing, right? Like, last year before, hold on, I gotta do one thing. I'm gonna put another song. But last year, before I started my throwing every day thingy, I really struggled with that little, like, that demon voice, you know, like when you wake up in the morning and you hear that little demon in your brain say, no, like, come back down, lay in bed, you know, sit for another 10 minutes, right? You know, don't do this. Oh, you walk past some sort of, like, oh, you really like ice cream? Like, you walk past that ice cream aisle and you hear that little demon calling you, you know, where you got that you drive past the McDonald's and you want to go get your Diet Coke, you know, and you hear it pulling you towards it, right? That's the demon to me, right? And so like the part of me is like I always wanted to keep that. I wanted to remember, like physically remember every single day when I'm posting something, what I'm trying to fight against is those demons. So that's why it is called Pottery Demon, right? You should call yourself. I don't even know how to pronounce it. It means the one who mixes together clay in my mother tongue. Can you like, how do I say it phonetically? Can you like write out the phonetic writing for it? Your thoughts you should right above, feelings you are fleeting, soul. Now your thoughts you should reside above the thoughts in our fleeting soul. I don't know what you mean exactly there, T. Okay, like no, it's okay, Papa Smurf. I like you guys. I really do enjoy confrontation, right? Like I like when people have like strong opinions. Like I've always liked those sort of people, right? So like, if you really believe that my name is trash, that's okay. That's fine. I'm not too. I'm not gonna like not like somebody because of that. Man, I got so much. I gotta fix my hair after this, guys. I'm getting so much of my hair in this thing. It's driving me. It's driving me up the walls. All right. There we go. It's like Google Lee, like Stanley. No, like the opposite of yes. Mess, like mess in your head. I don't even. What are you even talking about? Gleeno, Gleenomes, Gleenomes. Interesting. What language? You call it a demon telling you to stay in bed, but it's merely biologically to accommodate your most basic desires like comfort. But we have willpower that is a level above, and if you can tap into that, you have discipline. Yes, no, like totally. I agree 100%. Like that's, I think like, I don't know, a lot of times when I was younger, I wouldn't be able to kind of like set my mind to something. So like, the whole thing last year was really a healthy kind of endeavor for me. So like it's kind of a personal endeavor too. Um, I used to have like some like weight insecurities too when I was younger. And, I think my grandma, she was a little bit overweight for a while, and it caused her health to decline a little bit. But she lost all that weight, and I think I get inspired by like trying to overcome like impulse, so I lost like a ton of weight, like a ton, and that I guess was my first step towards like battling those demons, right? And the demons are different for every human, right? Like some people don't view the weight thing as like a problem for them, that's totally fine, right? But what I think is a problem is if you like know that you're giving into like that urge. I think that for me that's something that I feel like we should all try to overcome, at least at some level, right? But maybe that's just more of like my personal perspective on life. I think somebody could easily say like, nah, like why even worry about discipline when, we're only going to be here for so many years, so why even mess around with it? But I think those people are more like doomer mentality. Oh, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't, let me see. Interesting. Let it be a mystery. Okay, I'll just look it up after. Then, no worries. I'll set that in there. We gotta start getting ready for our next little batch. Gonna do a new set of water here. There we go. It takes personal experiences that you can link to words like demon, but you have to have some way to remind yourself that you are not those demons. They're always something separate. Yeah, that's true. That's funny. So in Chinese, right? My Chinese name is Ni Ren, which means mud person. But if you what it actually like, even though that's the name, the meaning though is different. Like when you say mud person, there's like a group of people who like they like sell like little toys and like little mini figurines that are what is it called? Maybe they're not all pottery, but that's why they're called mud people, right? Think of it as almost like those, like so how it was explained to me is almost kind of like a street performer, right? Okay. Desk. Camera A. Camera B. Oh, I definitely hit that, didn't I? Mini wheel. Okay. Close in. Close in. So look, I kind of knocked into this. That's kind of unfortunate that I knocked into that. Desk. Mini wheel. There we go. And we're back. Maybe we'll use this one. My first name means very good in Thai, but I'm not Thai. Interesting. I feel like you're going to see a lot more of that stuff in the next couple of generations, you're gonna see a lot of people with names referring to like different things from different parts of the world, right? Like think of all the anime guys who are gonna have kids and name their like kid Naruto. You know what I mean? Camera A. I feel like that's gonna be like so popular. Push this in. Here we go. Push this up. You can see how off-center this is too. Like you see how this was popping up on one side? So that's just kind of frustrating for me that a lot of these are not really even on the wheel there. Alright, so now we gotta make another bottom. Hammerfist is coming down. This specific wheel, this was an expensive wheel. This one was like 1600, yeah. This is, yeah. You don't need to buy one that's that expensive if you're gonna get one though, you know. I think you could get a pretty good wheel, like brand new. I think there's some that like 700 that you could get a good, like a decent wheel to do all what you need. And if you get a used one, you could get it for pretty cheap. But I really wanted this wheel because that, I don't know if you guys remember that sound. That was really bugging me. And I had that, my previous wheel. I still own it. Right now it's getting fixed. But I had that wheel for 4 or 5 years. And you guys didn't know me before last year, but let's just say like last year was not the most I've thrown in a year. You know, I threw a lot of stuff. I got a lot of mileage on that wheel, but now that I'm doing this sound, I really wanted to, or now I'm doing this like video stuff, I wanted to have a wheel with a better sound. How much, oh, have you ever seen the miniature wheels? Yeah, I like those ones. Can you throw on a spinning Fiesta plate? You could probably, I mean, you can throw on anything, really. How come you're so into the Fiesta ware plates? Do you have them? Zoom? Your name is very common, but it's funny that by coincidence it also means very good in the country that I really like to live in, like Thailand. Yeah, you want to live in Thailand? I've never been someone who like wants to live in a specific country, you know? I feel like any place is fine as long as I can have like a little wooded area that I can just kind of do my throwing at. That's kind of my goal. I don't really mind where I live. As long as I could do my throwing, I think. And I'm just really obsessed with anything radioactive. I respect that. I'm gonna cut this off. Somebody said, why is pottery making so erotic? I don't really think it is, to be honest. I feel like you're just, like, you're conditioned to think that way now, right? Because you got so many of those, like, thirst trap pottery people, or just thirst trap people in general. And so I think it's more of a reflection on, like, all the amount of media that's surrounding this process is, like, over eroticized, that's making you think that way, right? I think that's the biggest problem I have with my students too, is like, for example, I'll have this like old lady come in, and she'll be like, man, I really like this pottery, like I saw a video on it, it looked so peaceful and so relaxing, and then they do it and they're like, man, this is not what I thought it was, you know, like it is not peaceful at all. It was in a movie called Dirty Dancing. Oh, I don't know. But I don't think, like, I feel like you're aging yourself a little bit maybe by saying that. I don't think like Gen Z people would think of like a movie first when think of pottery and that idea in that way. I think they would just think of some like TikTok thing. Pottery making makes me tired. I don't know what it is about it, but I get so tired watching pottery channels. Yeah? Maybe I gotta put on, I gotta stop, right now I'm just making like smooth forms, and so I feel like that's a little bit too playing into it. Like I'm not making a form that's inciting like a excitement, you know? Why? I don't know about pottery thirst traps. We're watching pottery on the same website. Are you serious? Oh, you're so lucky then. Yeah, I feel like that's like all of my content is pottery thirst traps. It's like pottery thirst traps and hunting videos. I said, no, not. I just think that it's a thing. Some do this, and I don't even know what that means. But the first time you feel that center, it's so peaceful. Oh yeah, for sure. I guess that's true. Like, I think when you first are starting and you get over some of the beginner problems, there's something that's really comforting about that, right? You feel like a real sense of glory, right? But I feel like after a while, like I don't really feel that way unless I do like really weird forms like the trees, right? And so I just think I just feel a lot differently about like peace and the wheel, right? The wheel doesn't make me feel peaceful. It's the fact I have physical things taking up space that make me feel like peaceful, right? Like it's the value of producing things that I think I actually enjoy, not the actual making of the objects. I don't even know what you guys are talking about. We'll color this in a little bit more. But I guess in the same way, like how I don't feel like me and like when we were talking about Florian Gatsby earlier, I don't think we're making like we're not in the same world of pottery, right? In the same way, I don't think I'm in the same way of the world of pottery with those, like the thirst trap people either. Like, that's why I don't like the word pottery and pottery demon. That goes back to what we were saying earlier. I just think that when I look at the content that people are producing, putting out in the world, and then they label it the same thing that I'm labeling it, but I feel like the content's so different, it just makes me like think that I'm not part of that group really, you know? Another reason I don't really like labels. Thirst trap is a very funny word. It is kind of a funny word. I wonder where it came from. There's got to be like, you know, there's some dude who's done like analysis online about it. Like if you look up like like the meme history thing, I guarantee you'd find like the day that it was used or something. I feel like in a couple hundred years, they're gonna be like, why was there this like thousands of words created every single year in like the 2000s? Like we really created so many words, I feel like. The videos of potters memeing the thirst trap ones is even funnier. I haven't seen those. I thought about doing that one time, but I still think I gotta make like, dude, if people already know me as the guy who eats the clay eating man. The last thing I want to be is the guy who mocks, like, be known as the guy who mocks the thirst trap potters, you know? Trust me. I wish I could let you guys in on all my, like, chaotic ideas. But it's not time yet for the chaotic ideas. Camera B? My YouTube is very confusing with me. I get recommendations in 3 different languages and watch ads in a language I don't speak. I feel like it's different. I think it's I think actually it's all. I think YouTube sometime made it so that like if I wanted to, like it gives me the option every single time I post a video to like boost a video, right? And I'm so like against it, so I never do it. But there's probably a lot of people who do it, and they just want to see the number, right, go up. And so I guarantee that's why. Like those people are probably paying a lot of money for you to just see the content. We'll just keep this one kind of simple. Camera B. Close in. There we go. Camera A. Just something really simple here. We like this one. Alrighty. No, you have to let them dry and they soak, and then all the clay just dissolves right off of them, you know? But any large chunks I try to get off and throw them in a bucket, my reclaim bucket. But, yeah. He knows how to thirst trap. This is why they call him the pottery demon. No. I will never thirst trap. It's just, I feel like when you thirst trap, like what you do is you kind of sell a little bit of your, wait, camera B? Camera B? Mini wheel? when you do that, I feel like you kind of sell a little bit of your ideas away, right? Like you close them off from being able to like access them again in the same way, right? And like I just can't give up on my stuff, you know? Like I'm too stubborn to give up on like making it work with my own kind of ideas. Because I keep having that thought, like you got all these people who getting famous for their work, right? I kind of go into thinking like, well, you know what? Why not me, right? And I know it's going to take a while to get there, but I'm just going to keep on going for it. All right, there we go. Camera A. Here we go, guys. Here we go. Zoom. You gotta make the noises, guys. It's gonna make your pottery process. Your pots are gonna get way better right away as soon as you start making noise while you're throwing. You gotta add the sound effects in. So we're going down. We're gonna lift this up. I actually kind of folded that a little bit there. You can see right in this bottom edge. So try to get some of those onion rings off. Go up. And this out. Down. And you can see I'm kind of tilting it over to the side a little bit. Hold on, you don't want to do that too much. But when you tilt that over, there's no clay underneath of that side, right? And so since you're pushing it down and there's no clay underneath this side, then it's going to go down a lot easier. Out to the side, smooth this out. Push this in. Okay. Thumbs in. Close to the bottom. Get ready. Out. Smooth this. There we go. And I'm just trying to make sure the bottom's a little as even as I can. I can feel that one side's a little bit uneven, but I'm not too worried about it, right? Like I think sometimes people fuss too much about getting it perfectly even, when if you just kind of go through the pole a little bit slower and make sure your hands are in the right spot, you'll be okay. Okay, again, some water right down at the base. Push maybe a little bit too much. How thick is that base? Yeah, I probably could have done a little bit better of a job there. Okay. As you can see, it's starting to get a little bit thin right in that middle spot, so we'll have to even that out here in a second. A little water right here. A little water on the inside. Do you ever play around with marble or agate ware? No. Again, I think that stuff is more in the realm of like craft pottery, right? And I just don't think my work is really in that realm. Like when I think of like concepts in craft pottery, I think cute faces on objects. I think decals. I think simple forms. I think smooth. I think pastel colors. I think overuse of splattering. I think of like bubble glazing. I think of the marble ware. That's what I think of when I think of craft pottery, right? I think my stuff kind of more exists in the realm of like I'm a form guy. Like I like the way that form interacts with itself. I don't really care much about the glaze, or I don't care about depiction. I don't care. I care about like the moment that I'm on the wheel right now the most, right? That's my kind of realm I feel like I exist in, right? There's a guy, if you like that though, like if you like the marble stuff and the agate things, there's a guy online, there's a couple, there's this one dude who makes these moon jars on Instagram that are just like two-tone moon jars. He's really good at throwing. There's that one guy who always sits in front of it and he has very soft-spoken, camera A. And he'll kind of sit there, he'll be like, hey guys, today we are going to be using these beautiful colors, green, blue, and this really nice white with this darker clay body. Let's see how it goes. And then he makes the vessel. And then the thing is, when you're doing agate wood, there's a sort of reveal when you get the water off the surface, right? And so he makes that like a point of his content, is to remove that so the viewer can kind of see. And then like that's the whole structure of the videos is all the same. It's like yellow and this, here we go, boom, and then just construct it. Like, but you'll know who I'm talking about when you hear his voice. He really has a soft voice. He seems like a sweet human being. But yeah, he does a lot of the agate marble stuff. And I think he's pretty popular. Very soft-spoken. Camera A, camera A, camera A. Have I ever been to any other country? I have, but I feel like, I don't know. I like my learning to be within the material. I think I struggle going traveling because I feel like I'm missing out on the like making things and learning from material. And so, and I also think a lot of people, they travel and they say like they want to get to know like the world, but I'd also say like, yo, like how well do you know your neighbors, right? Are you talking with your neighbors, pretty often? I would say a lot of people, before they go travel, they gotta start talking to people around them first. But that's kind of a more personal opinion of mine. So take that with a grain of salt. The water right on this top edge. Zoom. Zoom. I gotta get some of the water off this. But like, don't you want to see different culture? The culture that is radically different from your neighborhood or even city? I'm not too, I don't really get interested in that stuff. I don't really go, it's not like I even, like me right now, it's like I don't even know what the culture that I'm in right now is like. I don't even get to experience that very much. Like today, all I'm gonna do after this is I'm gonna edit for like 4 hours, and then I'm probably gonna cook something, and I'm gonna send some applications some places. It's like I don't really do anything to engage with the people around me anyway. So like first I gotta get that done before I go traveling. And I also think sometimes like before I kind of got into this mindset, I was definitely like a people person, and I like to travel. I like to meet all these people, and that was like my thing, right? But then I feel like I was doing it just so I could get away from my own thoughts, and thinking and being with myself. Like I think I could be with everybody in the world. I could go into any place and feel comfortable and make friends quick. But when I went home alone, like I couldn't be with myself for more than like 3 seconds without going crazy. So I think that's that's kind of my perspective right now. Is like I just want to figure that my part of myself out. Like Australians, I bet they throw clay upside down. How they do that? Oh, I see, because it's on the other side of the world. You mean? That's funny. I live deep in the woods. I hate traveling. That's where I want to be. Like, yeah, I think CJ, I'm sure that you have your own like difficulties in your life, but that sounds like a pretty nice. That sounds like you cut a little piece of peace, a little piece of peace, like a piece of cake, like a piece of cake of peace for yourself and your world. Curse the English language for having two words. My sentence got screwed up because the words sound the same. When I travel, I love seeing how developed places are and how that changes culture. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I don't think I ever spent long enough in a place to get a good feel for that stuff. Wait, is this a closed one or an open? I gotta see quick. Hold on 1 second, guys. Close, open, open. I gotta make this one open. Okay. I actually kind of like this like really simple little shape on here. I almost want to call this one done quick. English is hard. I feel like people always make fun of me, like people who are close to me. They're like, how is English your first language? I shovel snow, cut wood all summer to stay warm all winter. I love nature. Modified old trailer with wood stove. Wood stoves are so nice, yeah. Oh my gosh, my grandmother, she had a wood stove. And I remember I'd go to her the basement, and she put like some little cedar chips in there, and like there was like a little, it's like crusty old yellow and green rug right in front of it. I remember I just lay in front of that rug, and it was just so warm and so nice. That's a vibe for sure, yo. If nobody's tried that yet, yeah, wood stoves are epic. All right, another little simple form for us. Okie Do I have any pets? No. I'm not much of an animal guy, to be honest, right? Like, I think if I had an animal, I'd go crazy. Bugs are probably the limit in what I would have for animals right now. At the most, maybe a lizard. Huge summon garden plants. Oh, yo, like you got some like pole beans or something. I love beans. When I was little, I had to go to my grandmother's house in the village to help collect the crops, and that I hated it every time. Yeah, you know, I can see people's disinterest in it for sure. Like if that's not your thing, then I get it. I just think for me, like if I had a day where that's all I did was just like for example, like pick strawberries, right? And I know it would be exhausting. I know it would be like really tiring. But I think there's something innate with like getting to see the effects of your labor right away, right? Getting to see all the strawberries that you plucked during that day, right? Or getting to see that your plants are growing a little bit, right? Stuff like that, like physical indicators of your labor, I think are like really healthy for the mind. You have a tortoise? I feel like maybe I could do a turtle. I think if I had a turtle, what I would do is I'd strap a camera to his back, and I'd have like a turtle camera, right, where he would just walk around and do his thing down here. And then, well, I probably would never do that because it probably is not healthy for the turtle to be around all this clay dust and stuff, like on the ground. But how cool would it be to have a turtle camera? Just like wandering about the studio. Oh, you don't have a turtle, but I was saying my judgment on you would be one. Yeah, I could do a turtle. Turtle are cool. Maybe even a turtle over a lizard, but the problem with turtles is they live forever, you know? Excuse me, can you just eat this after you finish it? No, sorry. Is this literally the Minecraft music playing right now? I know, I just had that same reaction. They tried to sneak it past us, yeah. I wonder what on the most recognizable songs in the world of Minecraft music is on that list somewhere. It's got to be at least top 50. You know. What clay am I using? I'm using a stoneware. It's a little bit darker, right? So it's called a red brown. I like it because it's at cone 6 usually. It's like a nice warmer than just like gray tones. I think a lot of stoneware is kind of like this like tan or like a grayish tone, and I just think it looks ugly. I like the warmth of this clay body. And it also has a little bit more grog in it, so it's a little bit easier for me to work with. So I'm right at this base, and I just feel this little air pocket screwing with me down here. Oh well. How soft is this? This stuff's a little bit too soft for my liking. I would personally like it a little bit stiffer. Air pockets piss you off. I just say just just finish the vessel, and as you get to them, just get rid of them. You know, you can spend more time like at the beginning, like really fussing about it, but I don't. They don't ever like. I don't think I've ever had a piece that got like totally ruined because the air pocket. You know. And a lot of people who say like the air pocket's gonna explode, I think they're firing their stuff too fast. Okay, so look at this. Do you see this? So this is where clay folded over another chunk of clay, but there was water in between, right? So you can see that this little line here, that's danger zone, right? So we're gonna bring this down and see if we can bring this back up. And so hopefully on our next poll, we kind of got rid of that mostly, right? Camera B. Close in. Okay. Can ruin the poll. I've never had. I feel like they only ruin the poll when you account for it, right? If you just like work right past it, I've never had too big of a issue just like working past their bubble or just pulling through it. I think the problems occur when you try to account for it, or you try to like squish it too much, or try to thin it out, or try to pop it mid poll. I would say just try to finish that poll, then continue, right? It might help you out a little bit if you're having that struggle. What kind of music do I listen to? There's only one band that I like, and that's a band that my friends made. That like we made a whole entire little play. Like we all made songs for my buddy for his birthday. So that's my favorite band. I don't really listen to bands. I don't have like the music that I listen to right now, like that we're listening to right now. I probably wouldn't listen to this. I listen to like I listen to that playlist pretty often. Like whenever I drive like an hour to work, I just sit and I listen to the songs that me and my friends made. Like it gives me so much fuel to know that my buddies like they all sat together and we like made songs for my friend, you know, like that gives me so much energy more than like listening to, I don't know, like some other music. MF Doom, I know who MF Doom is. You were cleaning, slip with a wooden knife with a sponge behind it? Now I was trying to take off this bit here. Do I have the sponge on it? I usually have it, like if I'm ever taking stuff off, like I'll usually have this sponge, like if I'm trying to lift this bottom up, I'll have the sponge in front of this. So then it smooths that out. But there, I was trying to get water in between the two layers, if that's what it looked like. So then that stuff that comes off that bottom doesn't stick to the vessel, right? Top 5 artists or bands? Oh, artists. Bobby Caldwell. I like Bobby Caldwell quite a bit. Maybe Thelonious Monk. I like Gioe Gibraltar. I'll put on some Gioe. Alright. It's like Joe. All right. I like this guy a lot. I'll turn it up a little bit. Dude, this guy's voice, I'm telling you guys, this guy, he's cooking. He's cooking. I'll even turn it up in my thing a little bit. But I've never been really that much of a music guy. Like when I was growing up, I liked really cringe songs. Like I liked you got designer shades just to hide your face, and you wear 'em around like you're cooler than me, and you never say hey or remember my name. I like stuff like that. That is my that's my, when I was young, at least, that's what I listened to, right? But I think a lot of the music I listened to when I was young too was like parodies of songs. So I never really had like bands, right? I feel like the bands thing was when I was in undergrad. I started listening to like bands, and that's when I found this guy. I really like this guy's music. Everybody likes this stuff when you're in the mood, but I won't admit it. Yeah, same. You guys didn't hear that. So funny. Come on in, buddy. Even, that's okay. So we'll go right up underneath the shoulder. Look at that hair. Dude, come on. Gross. Get out of here. Thousands sings classics. Yes, yes. Used to play them both as a DJ. You must be older or exceptionally cool. To T. Interesting. Look at you guys bonding over songs. This is what I always feel like I miss out on, right? Like especially like I'll see like my friends, they bond over music all the time. I'm sitting there like, what the heck? I make pots, guys. Throw the foot of the object there real quick. We actually kind of like these little like drips, so we'll keep those. You could smooth it all the way out, but I actually kind of like the way that they're presenting. You make pots while listening to the dancing and dancing. Sade, and if so, what is your opinion? I don't know who Sade is. I wish you guys could just like be in control of like, you guys could put like little commands in that play the songs I listen to. But I feel like that would get out of hand really quickly. Like I feel like within 3 seconds everybody's gonna be playing like the Blues Clues theme song or something. You like music that provokes emotion, like you are going somewhere and listening to the sound, and I like hate everything. Interesting. We can't have nice things. I don't know. I feel like there's a way to do it, but I can imagine it would get out of hand really quickly, though. I actually really like this one. There's like a really nice looseness to this thing, you know? All right. All right, so now we got 2 more to do. And then we're gonna throw the little additions. And I think I even might get some more clay. No, this is okay. I gotta start speeding up here because it's taking a long time for you. Sorry that you guys taking too much of your time. It's already been 2 hours. Oh my gosh. What am I doing? I was talking, you guys had me ranting at the beginning about the Florian stuff, and now we're talking about music, and I got distracted. Mini wheel? Let's do song requests. If I had like a person, like a person that was here with me, that could just like play the songs, and I trusted that person to like vet the songs first, you know, I would definitely do that. There's this one guy, he's talking about I think he's somewhere in Africa, and he was talking about like some traditional, I think it was called like a pygmy flute. It's like a 1-note flute. Camera A. And it's a 1-note flute, and he blows into it, and it just makes one. And so what he'll do is he'll go like this. And he'll sing to the sound, like, and talk to the flute. He sings the harmonies. Yes, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Yo, so beautiful, right? I love that. Man, you guys are like some musicians or something. Everybody knows all these like musical things. That's crazy, yo. Yeah, I love that. And that guy is so nice too. Ow! Needle, why'd you poke me? The needle was so mean. Okay. I'm gonna try to speed up a little bit because I don't know how much more battery I got left of what I got here. Zoom. There we go. Right out to the side. Right down. Make our little pool. Fill the pool up with some water. Can't have the tadpoles be drying out. Slowly take our finger and hook that. Ooh, we got a pretty gnarly air pocket in here. We didn't get a poppet. Now it's projected into the wall. That's not good, but that's okay. Smoothing out the base. Slowly taking our hand, rounding off this top edge. Alright, so this might get off quite a bit when we're doing these pulls. So we'll keep it a little bit thicker first. Walk this up. Stop there for a second. Tadpoles do love clay. I asked them one time, I said, tadpoles, do you like clay? They looked at me and they said, yep. We like this. I said, epic, bro. Pottery Demon Discord win? Do you think that should be a thing? Really? I don't know. I see people doing that, but I don't know if that's like a... We'll see. It's actually a good idea if people like that. But I'm not sure how many people have Discord. Everybody who games has Discord. That's true. I just want to make sure too, like, I don't even know, what would the point of the Discord be other than just to, like, chat, you know what I mean? Like, what can you do with Discord? We will add music bot inside channel. Oh, wait. Yo, that would actually be cool. I could have the Discord. I could have, like, say if you know, somebody wanted to do like pottery and they had like a pottery live stream, I could literally have the audio from Discord play and I could like actually chat. That's interesting. I didn't even think about that. That would be cool, actually. I gotta think about it though, because that's like a lot of stress, actually. And I don't know how I would regulate that either, you know, like, I don't think I could just have like everybody like who just pops in come in here, or I'm gonna have a lot of like Zoom bombers, but Discord bombers. You need to have faith in a few. That's true. I think I struggle with that stuff, actually. I'm always like there's this one quote, it's like, when a bird lands on a twig or a branch, does the bird trust the branch, or does the bird trust its wings? I'm a trust my wings type of guy. I don't like to trust branches, you know? But maybe that's a little bit too close-minded of me. Can you interview people? Like if someone messages something interesting, you can summon them to a voice. It would be cool. I think it would just... Then I feel like I already think like today, I was definitely a lot more opinionated than I normally am. And so I feel like I try to keep my opinions a little bit... Usually I try to keep my opinions a little bit less. And so I think if I started doing the chatting, I'd have more of my opinions. And I don't want to like... I don't want to just like do something where like somebody says something I don't like and I'm like, alright dude, like I'm going to have you removed from the chat for a little bit. You know, like, or hey, I'm just going to get back to throwing real quick. I'll talk to you later. Like, oh, I'd feel so like sad, you know. I'd be like, dang, this person just wanted to talk about like, I don't know, their childhood core memory of picking dandelions for dandelion salad, and then I'm just like, all right, dude, like we had enough of the dandelion salad. We want opinion though. That's what makes it interesting. Yeah. Sit here, your opinion. We're talking about Fiesta plates. Yeah, can you imagine if you're talking about Fiesta plates and then I was just like, alright, yo, like, I'm gonna have to kick you from the voice chat right now. Too much Fiesta plate yapping, you know, like, I feel like I'd feel bad. It'd give me too much power that I feel like would go straight to my head. You know, right now I'm Pottery Demon. If you talk 2 hours of Fiesta plates, I'd become Pottery Dictator, you know? The demon's word is law. Yeah, that's what I don't want to have that though. That's the... Slowly take this edge in.
Que só quando cruza Ipiranga, Avenida São João. É que quando eu cheguei por aqui eu nada entendi. Da dura poesia concreta de suas esquinas, da deselegância discreta de suas meninas. Ainda não havia
Guys, right around his shoulder. So we're on the shoulder here. We're hanging out with the shoulder. We're saying hello, shoulder. Nice to meet you. We're slowly gonna walk you in. You're a friend, but we're not close friends yet, you know? We're just getting to know you, the neck of the vessel there. We're saying hello. Okay, you're a little bit wide, right? Okay. So, a wide vessel likes to talk a lot, right? We don't want it to talk too much. You know, we want it to almost whisper to us, right? So let's close this neck in a little bit, right? And so that we can limit the amount of sound that's coming out of our vessel here. You ever listen to music in languages you don't understand? Of course, it's like my favorite thing to do. I feel like a lot of people can relate to that feeling that sometimes there's like songs that just have vibes, right? That you don't really need to know it. Isn't that what we're listening to right now? Yeah. So I like a lot of different music like that. French rap goes hard, but I randomly recognize words. Makes it fun. Yeah, I feel like I've had a couple of times like that with French rap. How long have I been throwing clay? Just about six years. Been pretty narrow. Again, we want this pot to whisper to us, right? Alright, we got our pinky out, right? Like we're drinking like a nice cup of tea. And we're in. Got a little bit wobbly right at that top edge. That's okay. Get this little ring right off the top here. Nice, okay. Now we can round this top edge off. That looks nice. Okay. So we want a line here first, okay? So line here. Nice. We also want a line here. And then we want get this amount of water off. And we'll just do one, we'll do a double line on the, or just one line on the bottom actually. Nice, okay. Well, there we go, guys. I like this one. This one's kind of going to be a nice little water whistle. In Paris, people spit bars on the streets everywhere. Interesting. I'd love to just like watch them just like rap. What's my favorite thing to make? Right now I like whistles a lot. I love making whistles. But I don't really throw those though. I just kind of hand build the whistles. I did say that I wanted to make like, I've made like 30 water whistles so far. Maybe a little bit less. Like 28, 26. But I gave a lot of them away. But I want to have 100 on me at all times, I think would be really cool. Lord Voldemort said, "Why is this so erotic? Sweaty emoji." Bro. Stop that. Bonk. You're going to YouTube jail. Listen to... Alright. If you want, we can do that. 1 second. Let's see. Can I can. Alright, but then after this, I really gotta try to finish up here. I've been streaming for a little bit too long. Wow. Somebody says, what is the hardest thing to make? I've always had an issue with my consistency of thickness. I've also only done this a handful of times. Hold on. Camera B? Camera B? Alright, so we gotta wedge this up quick. Some nice real estate right on the ground here. Nice. This is a smaller chunk too, so we kind of can't be too crazy with it. Camera A. Around that bottom. What you're saying? Hardest thing to make. I don't know. Maybe. Whoop. Move this over towards me a little bit. Hardest thing to make. I would say plates, I think, are pretty difficult. I don't like plates because you can't... Plates, they demand more time from you, right? Like, when you wire them off, you have to wait a little bit longer to move them, right? You kind of have to baby a plate, right? Whereas a lot of other vessels, if you have it even in a remotely cylindrical form, it's really easy to be able to zoom, to kind of just work with it and move it around, right? I've had issues with even consistency of thickness. I've only done it a handful of times. Yeah, I would say that, you know, thickness, I'll show you when we get down and we start to open this. But if you're having a hard time with like one side being significantly thicker than the other, I'll tell you that, I'll give you some tips on that in a second. But like the end, because I know I put more mental effort into it. Oh, plates, you like them more at the end? Yeah, there's something about eating off of a good plate too. Why? I like this. This sounds good. almost feel like I need to have a blue filter over like what I'm throwing right now. Like I think the color that you're seeing is a little bit too warm for the sound that's playing. Okay, so, you know, you can see my vessel isn't really that even, right? Like it's not perfectly on center. A lot of people, they freak out over their pots being like perfectly centered. I don't really worry about it too much, right? Not perfectly centered, a little bit off, right? You see that, right? Bing, 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 bing. Whoa, 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 right? So what I want to do is I'm going to grab my little llama here. Llama bites just a little bit, right? And llama is going to be coming towards you. As this left hand, I hook this in here, but it's not squeezing, right? And this isn't really squeezing either. This, I'm keeping that thickness the same. I'm just shifting that towards myself. As this left hand is just pushing forward, right? So watch. Left hand, slowly pushing forward. And you see how I just slowly walk that up into this volcano shape? There you go, right? And so what we're thinking about right now is to keep these walls even, is we don't ever want to squeeze the clay. What happens when you squeeze and squish that clay? Clay's going to move up, right? You see how it's going to move up? It's going to move wherever your fingers aren't, so it's also going to move down. So if you're doing a pull and you're kind of like shaking a little bit, or you're squeezing and then you're like not totally even, you're going to have some of that clay is going to go down and some of it's going to go up before it makes one full rotation, and then you're going to end up with tops that are like, and so the key really is to make sure you're allowing that one full rotation before you start moving that clay. And I think at the beginning it's okay to have them close, but you're not really squeezing. You're finding this little bump on the bottom, right? I have that little undercut, and as soon as I find that, I just keep my fingers there, and you see how that bump just walks itself up as long as I keep my fingers steady? And then that's what's going to help me even out all that clay. And then look, as I'm throwing, what's happening to that form? It's becoming more and more on center too, right? I still have a little bit on the top, but it's still okay, right? And we're down to the bottom edge, and again, we just slowly walk this up. This one, I had them a little bit closer. You can see all those little nail marks, right? Yeah, it is a really beautiful song. Do you like the soundtrack to that? Yeah, this just sounds good. Okay. Again, so I'm going to do one more little... You can see this little bump that I'm just slowly walking up, right? At the top, it wanted to cut a little bit. We got our height, okay? So you can see how that sort of works. I'm using my nail a little bit more because it's a little bit thinner, so I can't really do a full pull right now. Alright, we got it pretty even. Close this top in, get this water out. And those poles were really tame poles. They weren't like nice poles, I would say. So this was kind of a bad example for you, right? But you really want to be able to see like a giant bump that you walk in usually, right? Okay. Anyway, so we're going to go right down to the bottom edge here. So it's getting pretty uneven right there, but I'm going to just finish the pull. You can see how uneven I got that, right? Even it out a little bit more. We can get this top thickness out of here. We've got to close this vessel up. So that's all that uneven stuff that we were pulling up. We can just get rid of that, and so now it's pretty even from here. Alright, so we'll start from right here. This music kind of reminds me of Fabergé eggs. I don't know if you guys have ever seen those, but I love Fabergé eggs. They're so pretty. Okay, close it up. Now, I'm going to slowly push this down. All right. So it's too bad a lot of them. Which one? Which one cracked? A lot of the ones that I made, like my pots, or your plates you're talking about, or not your plates. I don't know what you're talking about. Cod fan said hello. Hello, Cod fan. Right down to the bottom edge. Slowly walk this up. Close in. Camera B. So you kind of see how this top, I kind of push this in a little bit so it becomes like a little foot ring, because these are all going to be upside down, right? So just a nice closed vessel form. Camera A. Okay, so all the small stuff is finished. All the parts. So parts are done. Fantastic. Or all the bases are done. Now we got to do one thing of the we got to throw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got to throw 5 connections, and then we're good. And we might throw like a couple of weird little attachments afterwards. Camera B. Mini wheel. Alrighty. I think I should just like, come on, move it out of the way. Camera A. Camera A. Somebody asked me if I'm Arabic? No. How come? Do I seem like it, or do I sound? Or are you just curious? Because are you Arabic? So you see how this, it just does not want to work and be our buddy. It's like always one side is kind of warped up a little bit. So sad. My music. Oh, is this Arabic music? I thought this was kind of like Scandinavian or what's the one language like some type of like what's like Russian, the language, what is that, the origin of it? There's a word for it, I forget. The music may sound Arabic because of tones. I'm wondering if it's in Russian too. I think so. I forget what that section of languages, right? Like, so a lot of European languages are Germanic, right? Or I think that's what it's called. Germanic origin. Or I think like Russian, Polish, I don't know, whatever all those other languages, they have a certain Slavic. Slavic? Yes. Slavic language, totally. That's what I was thinking. Thank you. But you can see how this bass being a little bit off like actually screws with us a little bit, right? I hope you guys can see that. So, like I said, we need to season our wheel with more clay so then less of that wobble happens. But anyway, okay. So we will start off with the little connections and we'll set those right in this little bin. My friend, she came over and she was making these fish. So I'll put them in with her little fish sculpture. You guys won't really be able to tell it's a fish sculpture though. It's like inside of this oyster thing. I was thinking that we do the connection points for the water whistles was we throw sort of like a cylinder and then we do like the tree twist and then we cut the tree top off and the base off later on, right? So go out, a little bit of water in. Right to the top. Nice. Okay. Zoom. Collar this in. So again, you guys remember these, right? The little tree twist. We gotta get that one a little bit better. So I was thinking the tree twists could become the spot for the connection point, right? We'll see how it goes, right? I was thinking we could like cut it probably like right here and there. But it's not that big of an interior circle, you know, so that's the only problem with these, right? We'll see how they go, you know. But we're kind of cutting a majority of this just so we can have that middle twist in between the sections that we were making today. So we'll see how it goes, you know? Well, that's our first one, so we're not really obsessed with how that one turned out, but I think we can make them better. And I also think we need to use a tool for this. I think I can't be doing it with my fingers any longer. I think I gotta use the end of a tool to do this. Which is a little frustrating because I like feeling the clay. But what are you gonna do? Let's try to do this wide so we can fit our hand in here. Maybe this will actually work out a little bit better. Actually, do I want to try with the... I want to do it with my finger one more time. It was a little bit too close. You can see one of them is a little bit smaller. So the singer is Jani, which was a USSR republic, but the language is, it's closer to Turkish. Huh. This just really sounds beautiful. I kind of screwed up one of the sides, you can see. But just holding this there a little bit, trying to force that twist all the way up to the top. And so the wide doesn't work on the top. So you see on the, I kind of, whatever. We're cutting the top off anyway, so it'll be cut to like right about here and here. So this one again, we're not really liking this. We're back to making trees. Think of them, what's going to happen with these is this, it's vertical, right? Vertical. And so we're going to take this and we're going to horizontal, and this is going to be the part that connects the vessels that we were doing earlier. So having like an ode to the tree, and then we'll use a wire or a knife to cut them flat so then they fit a little bit nicer. But instead of having cylinders, right, the cylinders I found they like to buckle when they don't fit evenly. I think that this one will actually tilt and work a little bit easier, but if they're going to work for the water later on, I don't know, but we're just trying it out just to add little elements of like yourself back into the work, right? Like just to always testing, always taking like that next step into an area in which we might not know the result. That's healthy, right? So. So So I think maybe not as many. Maybe we'll do like 3, but wider. And we gotta go thinner on the base so they twist up more there. And maybe we gotta leave a little bit more clay on the top so it doesn't want to buckle as easy. Let's try to do it with that. Where'd I have that? Here it is. We'll try to do it with the tool this time. I didn't really want to do this. Because when I do this, I don't really have a good feel for where my fingers are at on the inside, right? So it just kind of makes it a little bit frustrating to like twist. I guess that didn't really work the way I want, huh? Dang it! Whatever. We'll still try to make this work. I wanted it to twist lower. I don't know if these are gonna look good, guys. It's hard making them small and tubular. We'll see. So maybe not with that tool at least. Let's try something that's a little bit wider maybe. Maybe like a softer edge. Do I have anything else that would work for that? I have a different paintbrush that has a wider end to it. Yeah, we can try the one with the wider edge. This might work a lot better. So like you see how they have different size ends? You can see the thickness of it. Okay. Down to the bottom. Lift this up. I think too, a problem is that maybe we're going a little bit too thin with our poles, but I think we also need some of that thinness. My work ethic? Yeah, like just, you mean the amount that I make or just the process in which I make? I feel like I don't make too much stuff right now. More than like what I was doing like a couple years ago. I was really gone a little crazy. That's that one I missed, so we gotta make sure we kind of slow down here. You see how I missed that? Then we got it back a little bit. Because now it's gonna want to like collapse there, right? Okay. Maybe if we push this in at the base a little bit, we can kind of force it to want to start collapsing in on itself. No, I think again this is another... We have to somehow hold this top and allow this to all twist up. Okay. Do we like that? The middle is okay. This middle I think is a little bit... It's a little bit better. But not the best, not the best. I don't know, Elliot, if you scroll up a little bit, somebody in chat recommended this singer, so we've just been listening to this singer for the past couple, maybe like 30 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. But this one will work a little bit more. And you see how it has like a little... Oh, wait, you guys can't see from that side. It has like a hole in there, right? And so that's where water can flow through once we get these attached onto the vessels. But to be totally honest, they're not really turning out the way that I want them to. So, alright, what is the problem with these ones that we've been making so far? I think the biggest problem with them is we've been trying to do too many. So let's try to slim down how many of those little round rivers we're making, I guess, right? My energy and commitment? Aw, thank you. That's nice of you to say. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. I think I could probably use my 1. I don't know. Again, this one's not really... Man, it's hard to do the trees small the way you want them to fall. I actually never try to make the trees small. There's something about the distance between them that I can really get my fingers on the inside there. But this one was a little bit neater though, so maybe that there wasn't... It's all bad, right? Like, so let's go maybe a little bit taller. And we'll see where we go from there. No, we rip through. So we can't have the rip through though. That's the only thing. So we went too thin, but we'll see what we're gonna do. Maybe we can just like close that top like that and then cut it back open. What do we think, guys? Do you think this is gonna work? There's no hole in sight here, guys. This actually is not too bad. Like, what if we make the twist, then we remake the hole? That actually is a good idea. We're gonna do that. All right, watch this on this next one. Okay, we might have discovered how to do this, guys. Because I like this a little bit more. I kind of like the twist, and you're not gonna see the interior, so it doesn't really matter if it's all rounded off because you stick your finger back through. Well, whatever. We're throwing it in the bucket. I cut it off too tall. Thumb in. Thumb up. Chill at the side. Slowly pick this up. Okay, again, a little bit more water on the inside here. Right to the side, out, over top our finger, and then just slowly lift this up. Alright, so it's a little bit uneven, but that's okay because we got the thinness kind of nailed in there, okay? And my hands are so wet, I feel like I should do this with cleaner hands too. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, and so now we're gonna do the thing where we just hold this top edge, right? And we literally just squish this. And so do you see how this twists up? Look at that. Okay. So it's twist up now. Now we're going to take this little needle. And we're going to remake the hole through the middle of the vessel here. It's close. This is getting close, guys. This is getting close. This is not. It's not it just yet, but I do feel that the energy is getting close. But do you see how this one looks? I mean, scroll back a couple. Like this is way better than these ones, than the ones that we were doing a couple times ago. And so this is going to be the thing that connects the two vessels together in the trees, or not the trees, the water whistles here. But I think we're vibing with this. I think this looks kind of nice. Okay, we'll set this here. I see what you're trying to do. Cool. I feel like it'll be like that, like the space in between. I want it to be like a cylinder, but not just a cylinder. Like I want it to have something other it may be a little bit more interesting there. So I'm glad you see what I'm doing there. Okay. Let me bring this up. Okay. Right down to the bottom. Finger towards this bottom edge. Project it out. Oh, you know what I could do too? Why am I not walking the twist up? Alright, well, we got that one to work. Let's try, this is an experimental phase for these ones, right? So, let's just walk this little bump up here. Alright, so 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, It's not twisting up all the way as much as we want. I feel like there's just, the clay, there's not enough weight to really help that top totally finish off here. And we can kind of just bring this up. And we'll cut it. This one has a hole in it, so that's kind of a nice change. So now let's bring that hole all the way back down to the bottom. The only thing that I'm thinking about right now is that this is a pretty thick, it's a pretty thick attachment. There's no, you know, there's no, like when you fold those walls up, they don't get thinner. You know what I mean? Like they stay pretty massive. So we'll think about these ones, guys. Like, I don't know if we're totally on board with it. Here, let's just have my finger on the inside here. I don't know if we're totally on board with these ones yet, but we'll see. I just think that they're not precarious enough. Like they don't. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I'm not. They're not a total vibe. Well, anyway, that's kind of all it is for me. If there was a way to make them lighter and taller, I totally agree. I think I can make them, I think I just gotta get better. I need to get better at I need to get a better tool. Like I need to have like a little sponge over it or something, so I can have it all the way from the top, like what I did with the paintbrush, right? There's probably a way that I can do it that's would make it a little bit easier. I just haven't discovered it yet. But we'll try these out. We'll see how they cruise in here, you know? All right, y'all. That's kind of all I got for you guys today. So I'll let you guys off with a little video here. Which one do we want to show you guys? How about this one? Here we go. See you guys. Thanks for watching.